Welcome, this is Sherry Shrek, and this is the first of 5 videos that are dedicated to exploring the text called Spandakarika. It's a 8th-9th century text out of Kashmir, India, and its sole purpose is to describe the universe and how humans, how we are connected. And also, if you've watched The Secret, then in that movie they talk about the mysteries of manifesting and the mysterious texts that were written a long time ago. Well, this is one of those texts, so we'll be learning from the actual source of the first original texts that talk about creation and how we can create. We're covering the first 3 stanzas in the text in this video, and the first stanza is talking about the absolute, and as we go through each of the stanzas we'll be kind of picking apart and explaining some of the terms so you can better understand the concepts. So the concept of the absolute, in this philosophy, they split it apart to better understand it. So understand there's one absolute, just like using an analogy here, is fire. You have heat and light. You can't have just heat or just light with fire, but we can talk about the heat and we can describe how the light looks, but you can never separate those 2 qualities from fire. In the same way, we have Shiva and Shakti. We have Shiva, that is the unmanifest form of consciousness, or the absolute, and Shakti, which is the power of consciousness, which is the ever-changing and pulsing aspect of consciousness. And know that Spanda, from the term of the book, Spanda means, closest translation, pulsation. So we're describing this aspect. This book is very much about understanding that Shakti aspect as it relates to Shiva in the form of the absolute. So the first stanza starts off saying that we honor the absolute, whose Shakti, so that power of consciousness, is the source of expansion and contraction, which brings the worlds into creation and dissolves it back. This expansion and contraction, these 2 qualities, are described or given an analogy of the absolute as opening and closing her eyes. So the Shakti is usually referred to in the feminine form, just so you're clear why I'm using that. So the eyes open as it relates to the divine, the world dissolves, and that's called nimesha. Now when the universe closes their eyes, the world appears. So let's use another analogy to even better understand it. So pretend the absolute is a room, okay? And so the absolute closes its eyes, basically looks inward and sees the world. So this world, the world is inside the room, let's say, okay? Then the divine, Shakti, opens her eyes. So now it's looking outside of the room into her pure state of consciousness, or the Shiva aspect. And when she does that, the focus of the world inside of her dissolves, and so the world dissolves. So this is kind of kind of a deeper understanding on or an analogy on the physical plane that can kind of help us understand how that works. In the second stanza, they talk more about the Shakti and states that the Shakti is both formless and limitless. In the third stanza, it speaks of our states, of the waking state, the sleep state, and the deep sleep state. And it says that the source of creation, even in the perceived division of the created states of sleep, deep sleep, and wake, the source retains its own nature. So there's no change in the absolute source of all that there is. Okay, so let's use an analogy to better understand this. So imagine a room closed off. That's the absolute source of everything, is closed off room. You have a person, just to make it simple, a person and a plant. The person exhales and gives off carbon dioxide. The plant, the carbon dioxide around the plant is dissolved into the plant, right? So from the perspective of the human, it can be seen that, oh, the carbon dioxide is going away into the plant, okay? But that's just perspective. From the absolute's perspective, the room, right? There's no difference. There's some carbon dioxide went into the plant gave off some oxygen for the humans, and all's good. There's this continuous circular movement. But from the absolute, there's nothing that has gone in and out. So the absolute, the nature is unchanged. And that's a little bit what it's talking about there. Slowly close your eyes and take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Just allow your body to settle into the moment as you focus your mind on your breath going in and coming out. You will find that these qualities of the Absolute and the Source are also our qualities. We're going to have a little experience of that. So as you breathe in with your eyes closed, right? This is the eyes closing is Unmesha, and our inner world is shown to us. So as you breathe with your eyes closed, we watch the breath in our body moving in and out. Any thoughts that come into your mind, just let them dissolve. Just as when the eyes are open in Bhairavi Mudra, this is the mudra of the Absolute, the world dissolves. From our perspective, the world appears, seems to appear as we open our eyes. So just imagine that room, that universal room, where the Shakti closed its eyes and the world inside the room appeared, with you breathing in and out. And imagine being that Absolute, opening your eyes, and the world dissolves into the pure consciousness of being. Shiva. So the Shiva aspect is revealed internally as we imagine opening our eyes from that perspective of the universe. So think of something over this next 5 weeks that we will be exploring this text. What it is that you would like to create. What would you like to manifest? And then maybe what you would like to dissolve. So be specific. As you continue to breathe in and out with a clear intention for your manifesting and dissolving during our journey together. Let's bring your hands to the heart center and honor that Shakti with its spanda, this pulsation of creating and dissolving, the Shiva aspect of the universe that witnesses and watches the play or pulsation of the Shakti. And releasing the hands, slowly opening your eyes, and make your way onto the mat, onto all fours, hands and knees. Place your wrists right underneath your shoulders and knees right underneath the hips, tucking your toes under. So as you exhale round, as you inhale, arch the body. So you're creating a pose, and then with the next breath, you're dissolving that pose and moving into the next pose. Slowly make your way to down dog, lifting up the hips. If that's too difficult with shoulder or wrist injuries, you can come down onto all fours. With your knees on the ground, keep the arms lifting for a nice shoulder stretch. In full down dog, just walk out your legs. Think of the circular movement of a bicycle. One leg staying straight and slowly transitioning to the other leg. Continuous circular movement. As you inhale, bring the right leg forward into lunge. If you need blocks to help with tight hamstrings, place those under your hands. We're going to be continuing this circular experience with movement and breath. Inhale, straighten the front leg as you root the back heel down, and as you exhale, melt the front thigh towards the earth. All ideas can be experienced in the body and the mind. So by creating here and dissolving our pose with each breath, it mirrors the circular action of the universe. Keeping the lunge, lengthening, and as you exhale, twist to the right arm up towards the sky. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. With each exhale, twist a little deeper. Stay with the breath. As you exhale, hand down, foot back, plank. If plank is a little too difficult, you can place your knees down on the ground to make it easier as you chaturanga. Exhale down, inhale, cobra. Keeping the shoulder blades on the back and then rooting down for down dog on your exhale. Just stay breathing here. Nice, long, deep breaths. Inhale the left leg forward to lunge. As you inhale, straighten the front leg. As you exhale, melt the front thigh towards the earth. Keep moving with your breath. Let the breath be the initiator of the movement. Keep this mirroring of that circular quality of the universe. Your exhale, you twist from the lunge, expanding the heart as the head moves back to open the pose into a deeper twist. Exhale, the hand down, stepping back, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. On your exhale, move into dog. As you hold dog, breathing deeply, inhale into the heart, and as you exhale, root down, lengthening out of the heart. This way, keeping a circular movement. As you inhale, step your right leg forward into upright lunge. Bring the hands on the hip as your torso comes upright, bending the back knee to make it a little more easeful for your adjustments of bringing the waistline back and scooping the tailbone. On your inhale, bring the arms up and over the head. If you need a little more stability, place your back knee on the ground and hold the pose in this position. The Shakti, which is always moving and changing, is experienced through our physical body. So here we also mirror in our yoga pulsation to help open up the body stronger. So keep that back leg lifting strongly from the inner thigh as the front thigh melts and you feel the transition in your body occurring. As you exhale, float the hands down to the ground and step your leg back into chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. And as you exhale, move back into down dog. Holding the down dog. Always slight movements with the breath. Always the arms lifting upwards as the heart melts towards the earth. Inhale, left leg forward. Upright lunge on the second side. Keep the back leg lifting as you move the waistline back as you scoop the tailbone. Expanding, imagine being that absolute Shakti, Shiva, watching the play of your body. As you exhale, float the hands down to the earth into plank chaturanga. Pointing the toes, inhale into cobra. And as you exhale, root from the heart down through the earth, lifting the buttocks to the sky. And holding your down dog, watching the natural pulsation of the breath, the natural spanda of the breath. Inhale, right leg forward, Parsvakonasana, rotate the back heel down, right forearm on the thigh, left arm alongside the head. Encourage the inner thighs to move back as you move the waistline back and scoop the tailbone. You'll feel more power in your pose, expanding the opening, the transition, that Shakti. Transition to a triangle, straighten the front leg on your inhale. As you root the hips down through the feet, lengthen the spine even more, holding and yet pulsing with the breath. On your exhale, float the hands down, plank chaturanga. Inhale, pull into cobra as you scoop the tailbone towards the toes. Exhale, root down into down dog. Supporting that dog with deep, long breaths. Pulsing the pose into the heart, expanding out of the heart. And then inhale, left leg forward, Parsvakonasana on the left side. Inner thighs back as you scoop the tailbone, left arm reaches upward. The hips press down as both sides of the body lengthen. On your inhale, fingertips are on the ground as you straighten the front leg for triangle. Notice the shoulder blades strongly on the back. And here, see if you can connect in to the infinite within the finite aspects of your body. Exhale, hands down, plank, chaturanga. As you inhale, pull into cobra. And on your exhale, move into down dog. Breathing in your down dog. As we connect into this constantly moving Shakti, we can find the unlimited within the limited aspects of the body. Inhale the right leg forward into Parsvakonasana to pair Ardha Chandrasana. As you inhale, shift the weight onto the front foot, lifting the back leg straight towards the sky. Hips are stacked, arms expanding apart from each other. If you're feeling any discomfort in your neck looking up, you can look down. Nice, long, deep breaths. And then if you want to play a little more expansively, see if you can balance on the front foot without the fingertips on the ground. This is just extra credit. As you exhale, fold deeper into a forward fold, lifting the back leg up towards the sky, squaring the hips. On your exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. And pause here for a moment, letting all the tension flow out of your body. On an inhalation, lengthen the spine. Exhale, both legs back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra. And on your exhalation, move into Down Dog, enjoying that pulsation and movement. Now it would be silly to hold on to a pose, so here we transition. Left leg forward as you inhale. And on your next inhale, teeter-totter into your half moon pose, breathing long, deep breaths. We wouldn't hold on to a pose, and yet we hold on to things and people. Also, we don't want to avoid a pose. As you exhale, fold into your forward folding splits. Take a breath or two here. And on your next exhalation, Uttanasana, forward fold. Enjoying this moment as we give rise to a new pose. Of course, that is Unmesha. As we dissolve it, Nimesha, go into Chaturanga. Exhale down. Inhale, pull into Cobra. And as you exhale, moving back into Down Dog. Nice, deep, long breaths. At the end of your exhalation, float or step the feet forward, Uttanasana. Rooting the hips down through the feet. Inhale, rise up and float the hands back to the heart center. Standing with your feet sitting bone width apart, inhale the right knee up, right hand to the knee. As you exhale, take the knee out to the side, holding onto the ankle, place the foot, toes pointed down on your inner thigh. With the hands at the heart center. For tree, inhale the arms up into the full expression of tree. Nice, deep, long breaths. The tree, the seeds of the tree hold the essence of the tree. Just as our heart holds the essence of the universe, allow it to rise up to the sky, and then maybe bring a little of that sunlight down into the heart. As you transition to the other side, keep the left foot straight. Inhale the left knee up and place that foot on the back half of your thigh, toes facing down. On your next inhale, bring the arms up and over your head into the full expression of your own unique tree. If you'd like to go more expansive, bring your head and arms back, lifting the heart up higher towards the sky. On an exhalation, slowly float the hands back down to your heart. Place the foot back down, pointing straight forward, and we're going to grow the seed of the tree a little more expansive. Inhale the right knee up. Now, you can just move the knee out to the side and then straighten, or if you have more open hamstrings, hand to foot, straightening out the leg. Breathing, and on your exhale, slowly take that leg out to your right. Nice, long, deep breaths. On an inhale, bring that leg back to the center. And if you had your knee, hold your thighs with your hands and straighten the leg as much as possible. Holding that and breathing. Exhale the foot down to the earth, shifting the weight to the right. Inhale your left knee up, either taking hand to knee or take hand to the little toe side of the foot. Exhale the leg straight. Holding the position here. And then give rise to the form with the leg out to the side as you exhale. This is Unmesha. As you dissolve it into the next on your inhale, that's Nimesha, and creating Unmesha, the new position. Holding the hamstrings if you had the knee bent, and straighten the leg. Breathing. On an exhalation, bring the leg down to the earth. Take your feet wide and make sure they're parallel. On your exhalation, bend at the hip creases, fingertips to the earth. Keep the legs fully engaged, all four corners of your feet rooting down from the hips to the earth. The more you root, the more the spine gets long and you find space. On your inhalation, lengthen the spine, straightening the arms, and then heel toe, the feet in towards each other. Transition to all fours, this time with your forearms on the ground, shoulder width apart. Make sure wrists and elbows are the same distance, shoulder blades on the back. And as you inhale, lift the hips up towards the ceiling and root the tailbone down through the legs, getting the heels a little closer to the earth. As you breathe here, you'll notice the opening in the shoulders. We're opening the heart. If this is too intense, you can bring your knees down onto the earth and do the stretch in the shoulders from here. Transitioning everyone now into extended child's pose. And take some deep breaths into your back. Start the inhalation at the lower back, moving to mid back and finishing upper back. And then pour out the breath, completely connecting to the earth. These opening and closing of the eyes are not in succession. They are simply two expressions of the Absolute. The Absolute is beyond time. As in everything, there is transition, there is change. This world is never in a fixed state. There is always change, and this is the pulsation that we're talking about. So inhale, come up, have a seat up against the wall with the legs out straight. We're measuring the legs for preparatory handstand. So bring your wrist to the level of where your ankles were and inhale into a short dog. On your next inhalation, bring the feet up to the height of the buttocks, straightening the legs, and then take one leg up towards the sky. So the heart is rooting down through the arms into the earth as the spine and legs line up through the sky. Exhale, switch, take one leg to the wall and bring the other one up to the sky. If you already know and are comfortable kicking up to handstand, feel free to do that instead. On an exhalation, bring your feet down and go into an extended child's pose. Knees a little wider than the chest, big toes touching. And take a couple breaths here and feel the effects of going upside down in the handstand. As you inhale, slowly come up, coming to all fours and transition into down dog, lifting the hips. Going into pigeon, slide your right knee forward. Now, a full pigeon would be the foot forward. If you're a little tighter in the hips, point the foot and bring it closer to the groins. With the forearms on the earth, lift the legs, the back leg off of the ground. If this is too intense, you may use blocks, one under the hip and the other one for underneath your forearms. The appearance or unmesha of a pose and the reabsorption, nimesha, of the universe is seen in the manifestation of any emotion and its withdrawal. So, for example, sadness is a prelude to joy, or pain, a prelude to pleasure, which may be coming out of the pigeon now as you inhale your hips up, may give you some of that pleasure. Inhale, swing the left knee forward, positioning the foot in the right position for you. If it's forward, have the foot more flexed, more towards the groin, more pointed. We hold any resistance to our emotions in our hips. So I like to say is that you can feel the emotions or you can feel the pain in your hip while you're doing pigeon. So breathe into that sensation in your hips. And on the inhale, place the hands lifting the hips into down dog. Just feeling the effects of the pigeon, and we're going to come and take it a little deeper. Inhale the right shin back forward, placing now the left forearm right in front of the shoulders. As you exhale, twist to the right into a pigeon, twisted pigeon pose. As you maintain the lengthening of the spine and the depth of the twist as you exhale, take long, deep breaths. If this is too intense, put a block under your right thigh and under your front forearm. As you hold the pose, make sure to breathe deep, especially deep into that right hip, the right pelvic floor. Placing the hands underneath the shoulders on the inhale, lift the hips and move into down dog. And just notice the difference. As you inhale, swing the left shin forward. Right forearm comes onto the earth, lengthening the spine. Exhale, twist. With each inhalation, lengthen the spine. Each exhale brings a deeper twist. You may notice the pain in the hip intensify with the twist. However, suffering, they say, is the resistance to the experience of the moment, and that it has a circular quality of moving from pain to pleasure and back again. The circular movement is the quality of the spanda or the universe. As you exhale, place the hands under the shoulders and move back to down dog. Take a few breaths in down dog, and then walk your feet a little closer in for Bakasana. If you have any injury in your shoulders or wrists, you can stay in a squat position like I'm demonstrating. So just continue opening up the hips and your back. Otherwise, going into the full pose from this position, you bend your elbows, sliding your hands back so they're shoulder width apart, and then teetering onto the hands, lift one foot up at a time. Make sure not to jump up so that the transition is safe. These poses, arm balancings, can bring up the emotion of fear. And all emotions are Shakti. They come and go. They fluctuate. They pulse. So see if you can embrace the fear and allow it to safely guide you in your pose and transform it into enthusiasm. From here, step back into down dog and feel the effects of the pose. As we go into headstand, this also can present fear. If anyone has ever been told not to do headstand, this first thing I will show you is a great beginning. Put one hand on the neck, the other on your head, and lengthen the head up into the hand and feel the effect on your neck as you do this. This is a great way to begin to prepare you for your headstand. So continue doing that. Or the next level would be to interlace your fingers, placing your head next to the forearms, and then bending the knees and slowly going up into headstand. Hold the headstand as long as it's comfortable. You need to root down from your head with your head and forearms equally. And if you feel any weakness in your neck, slowly come down into extended child's pose. The next level, Shirshasana 3, is you have your hands down and head at an equilateral triangle. So equal distance between head and hand and hands. Here, as you go up, see if you can keep your arms straight. As you come down, play with going into Bakasana once again. Go slowly, mindfully, finding and allowing your body to find its own balance. And breathe. Slowly go back then, placing your head back on where it was and slowly straightening up towards the sky. You may stay in this pose for as long as your neck feels strong enough to root down into the earth. When you're done, come down. These headstands can bring up that same feeling of fear, and then transitioning it into enthusiasm can be a challenge. I've done that recently after being ill for a period of time with cancer. And after my healing was complete and I could start doing other things, I didn't know what to do. So I started making it my job to find something that basically brings passion into my life. I started looking at what really makes my heart shine. What is my heart's desire? I found out through my contemplations that actually this type of work, diving into these books, is what floats my boat. Even a cancer experience can be the bridge to experience that there's nothing that exists outside of Shiva and Shakti. Come and sit between your feet in Virasana. If that's too painful for your knees, sit on a block. Then as you take the right leg out, you can put another block underneath your right thigh to help support the knee. Make sure to scoot the buttocks towards your feet so that your back feels safe. You do the same kind of thing when you're on the floor. Make sure the waistline's moving down and the tailbone scooping. Also, if your knee tends to lift up, place your right ankle on that knee to help hold it down. To keep the pain out of your back, make sure to keep inviting the waistline down towards the earth as you move the tailbone towards your knee. Your belly moves up and in. Stay in this pose and take long, deep breaths, opening up the whole left side of the body. As you inhale, press the elbows and hands down and slowly come up. Straighten out the left leg, going to the other side, bend the right knee, using blocks if you did, otherwise slowly start to come down. Place the left ankle on top of your knee to help that knee stay earthbound. Make sure that the knee, hip, and shoulder all line up in a straight line. If you need to stay up on your elbows, feel free to do so. Just continue taking deep, long breaths, opening now the right side of your body. On an inhale, slowly help yourself back up using elbows and hands, and fold a little part of your mat back and place your knees on that double mat Tuck your toes under and bring the hands to the hips. Waistline back, scoop the tailbone, and as you lengthen the sides of the body, just move the head and neck back. You can stay there or place the hands onto your ankles. If that is too difficult, place blocks on either side of your feet. It's easier for your shoulders to hold the posture. Breathing here, letting the heart lift. On an inhale, slowly come up, and as you exhale, have a seat. Take a moment here with a few deep, long breaths and feel the results of going into a deep heart-opening pose. Can come into the second round. So if you want to go deeper, keep the feet straight, going straight back, toes on the earth. Otherwise, keep the toes tucked under, using the blocks if you need. Lengthening, exhale, moving back into the posture, now maybe a little deeper than you had before. Lifting the heart, the seed of the heart, your enthusiasm up towards the sun, letting you drink in the sunlight of your breath. And again, inhale back up and sitting, experiencing the essence of the universe as you pause. Slowly open your eyes, straighten out the mat, cross your ankles and roll onto your back for bridge. Press your head and elbows down, allowing the shoulder blades to come off and together. Inhale the hips up, making sure that the feet are right or ankles are right underneath the knees. As you interlace the hands, try to straighten the wrists. This will help protect the wrist and strengthen the forearms. Take long, deep breaths here, extending through the body out to the knees as the head stays rooted. On your exhale, come down and take a moment and feel the results of the posture. We're going to be doing this again. So on the second time, you can stay in the pose, interlacing your fingers the opposite direction, or you can go to the more advanced back bend, placing the hands on either side of the head, pressing down, coming to the crown of the head. Adjust the hands as you need so wrists are straight, and inhale all the way up. As you hold your back bend, breathe deeply into the belly, then the ribs, and finishing the breath into the chest, so that you have a wave of breath opening the front of your body. As you exhale, slowly come down. Take a moment and enjoy the after effects of an expansive back bend. Preparing now for either another bridge or another back bend. Inhale the hips up, and as you're ready, place the hands on either side of the head, coming to the top of the head. Bring your arms in to the armpits and then lift all the way up for even more expansive. Lift and expand the heart up to the sky and drink in the warmth and light of the sun. The world and you have no separate existence from Shiva and Shakti. Since the world owes its existence to Shiva, it cannot conceal him, just like a pot cannot conceal the potter. So we can experience the absolute within this world of form. As you exhale, lower the buttocks down to the earth and bring your legs in towards your chest. For happy baby, take the little toe side of the feet as you pull the knees closer to the earth. Extend the buttocks down. As you hold that isometric action, extend the legs out to a V. Breathing deep, long breaths, extending out of the core of the pelvis, through the legs, and up the spine. Bending the knees, roll to your right, and on an inhale, slowly come up. Straightening out the legs. Bend the left knee out to the side, bringing the foot on the inner part of the thigh, lengthening the spine. Exhale forward. Taking long, deep breaths. If you're a little tighter in the hamstrings, take a strap and place it around the balls of your foot. Don't round the back. Keep the back straight as you go into your forward fold. Whether you're using a strap or extending and pouring out over your straight leg, holding the foot. The pouring out, imagine releasing any resistance to being part of the universe. Feel if there's any unworthiness to be part of that divine, and see if you're ready to let it go. On an inhale, come all the way up, straightening the legs. You might notice any difference on the two sides. And then bend the right knee out to the side, lengthening the spine, and pouring out on this side. You might also consider pouring out any thoughts or beliefs of being less than a perfect creation of the universe. Settle in with deep, long breaths in and out. And on an inhale, slowly come back up. Straighten out the right leg and bend the left knee out to the side. Inhale the left arm up and exhale, extend both arms towards that right foot. Keep both sitting bones rooted down as you extend the spine. If you have both hands on the foot, extend your elbows apart from each other to open the heart more. As you inhale, come on up, place the left hand behind you and fly into Wild Thing. Take long, deep breaths, opening up the whole right side of your body. And then exhale and bring that leg down. Straighten out the left leg and bend the right knee. Inhale the right arm up and extend the whole body over towards your left foot. If you can take a hold of the left foot, great. If not, that's fine too. But just lengthen the underside of the body. Here, the left side. Let it grow long as the heart opens up to the sky, embracing every part of your being as part of the universe. Inhale up and extend back into Wild Thing on this side. It's actually a low Wild Thing with your right knee on the ground. Breathing here, enjoying the expansion of the pose, and exhale, slowly bring your buttocks to the earth, straightening out both legs now and inner rotating one thigh and then the other. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, extend forward. If you have tighter hamstrings, then you might want to have your hands behind your back to help support a straight spine. Make sure not to round the spine. You may notice that this is one of the more painful postures. Well, Shakti is pain and pleasure, but suffering only happens when you resist one part of duality. So resisting can be resisting the pain, but sometimes people resist the pleasure. The ideal is embrace both. Inhale, help yourself back up. Allow the hands to come to the knees to help the knees to bend for Baddha Konasana. Press all four corners of the soles of the feet together and exhale, extend the spine forward. If your hips are a little tighter, you might want to sit up against a wall to support your back, or place the hands behind the back for more ease. Whether you're upright or more extended over, Take deep, long breaths, lengthening the spine and allowing the heart to melt down. On an inhalation, come on up and come to all fours. In the frog position, you'll be taking your knees wide on the mat. For sensitive knees, place blankets underneath the knees. Your feet are flexed and a 90-degree angle to the shin, and the shins are 90-degree angle to the hip, the thighs, and thighs are 90-degree angle to the body. This is a very intense pose on your inner thighs. As you inhale, extend your body forward and walk your legs in towards each other. On an inhale, come on up and take the legs wide for Samukhnasana, or otherwise known as the Chinese splits. Taking the legs as wide as you can, slowly start inching the buttocks closer and closer, taking the legs wider and wider. Breathe at your edge. At one point, you might be able to actually take it deeper and just keep inching your way deeper. Play with the cycle of pain and pleasure in this pose, embracing both. Practice non-resistance. Bring your hands to your knees to help the knees to bend for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Bend the left knee, bringing the left foot by the heel, and the right foot comes over the knee. Place the left elbow on the outside, right fingertips on the ground. Inhale, lengthen the spine as you exhale, twist. Breathing deep, long breaths. If your hips are a little tighter, you can place the foot right in front of your right hip crease instead of over the knee. Whichever version you choose to do, each inhale, lengthen your spine from the sacrum to the crown of the head. As you exhale, twist a little deeper to the right. Inhale, face back forward and switch the legs. Mirroring what you did on the first side. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, twist a little deeper. Send a blessing to all beings with your hands in Abhay Mudra. May they experience the bliss of knowing that they all are perfect spiritual beings within this world of duality. On your inhalation, slowly come back forward, straighten out your legs for Paschimottanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine, inner rotating the thighs, and extend, pour out over your legs. Allow each inhale to lengthen your spine a little more. As you exhale, allow the heart to get a little closer to your toes. Melting deeper and deeper with each exhalation. Take a moment to honor all that you did, all the physical work, and then as you inhale, help yourself up and roll down onto your back for Shavasana. If you do have a sensitive back, you might enjoy putting a bolster underneath or blankets underneath your knees. Take your heels as wide as your mat and the arms out to the side, a little away from your body with the palms up. Here, allow the body to grow heavy and still. We're going to be listening to a chant. Listening to sound can help focus the mind on the present moment. This particular chant is in Sanskrit and holds a very high resonant energy. Allow it to open up your third eye, your intuitive knowing that part of you that knows that you are Shiva and Shakti. Listen to the sounds in the music. If your mind wanders away into thought, you might try repeating the sounds in your mind.
Snanam cha divyambaram Nana ratna vibhushitam Mragamata modankitam chandanam Jati champak bilbapatra rachitam Pushpam cha dhupam tatha Deepam devdayanidhe Pashupate hritkalpitam grahiyatam Sauvarnena varatna khanda rachite Patre ghratam payasam Bhaksham panchavidham payodadhiyutam Rambha phalam panakam Shakanam yatam jalam ruchikaram Karpura khandojvalam Tambulam manasa maya virachitam Bhaktya prabho swikuru Chhatram chamarayoryugam vyajanikam Chadarshakam nirmalam Veena bheri mridanga kohalakala Geetam cha nratyam tatha Sashtangam pranatihi stutir bahuvida Hetat samastam maya Sankalpena samarpitam Tava vibho Pujam grahana prabho Atma tvam girijamate Sahacharaah pranaah shariram graham Pujate vishayopabhogarachana Nidra samadhisthitihi Sancharaha patiyoha pratakshanavidhi Stotrani sarvagiro Yattat karma karomi tat akhilam Shambho tavaradhanam Karcharan kritam va kayajam karmajam
Start deepening your breath in and lengthening your breath out. Feel how heavy your body is. And then start to bring little movements to fingers and toes. And just tuning in to your body, stretch it however you desire to move, and then bend the knees and roll to the right into a fetal position. Take a couple extra breaths in the fetal position. And when you're ready, use your arms to help yourself up, allowing the head to be the last to come up. Highly recommend getting a blanket or cushion to sit on. Here, placing your buttocks on a blanket with your feet off will allow your back to feel supported as we go into meditation. We will be meditating using a mantra. Mantra means a tool for the mind. This mantra is called Soham mantra. There's a variety of different ways the Soham mantra is taught. I will show you both an English version and a Sanskrit version. So, as you allow the hips and the legs to stay heavy, keep lengthening the spine up towards the sky. As you breathe in, see if you can hear the sound hum in your breath. As you exhale, see if you can hear the sound sa as you breathe out. Hum in, sa, the breath moves out. Hum means I am. Sa means that. So every breath says, I am that. I am. This is another name for the divine that even shows up in the Bible. So you may use the English version. I am that. I am. So I am in that as you breathe out. So each inhale, I am. Each exhale, that. Or stay with the Sanskrit. Hum in, sa, with the breath moving out. I am that. I am the Shiva, unmanifest form of the divine. I am Shakti, the manifest form playing here in this dualistic world of earth. Stay with the mantra even as the mind might wander into thought. begin to tune in to your experience after this meditation. You might notice the body is heavy in its deep relaxation. The mind may feel a little calmer, quieter, or maybe it feels expansive. Bring your hands to the heart center and honor your experience, whatever that might be. Honor the light within your heart and the light within all beings. May everyone everywhere have joy, peace, happiness, bliss. Namaste. Slowly open your eyes and have an amazing rest of your day. Namaste.